All right, guys, what's happening? Robert here, Blazing Press Channel. We got some crazy news happening right now. If you're not on YouTube watching, if you're watching on another platform, come on over to YouTube. It's the place to engage with the chat and the audience a little more lively over here on YouTube. But still, we reach out to these other platforms. But we are going to be covering live this event that is happening in Palm Springs as we speak. It is a pretty interesting development. Possibly blame is going to be placed on Christians. It may look like it's a something to do with reproductive services. I don't know if it has anything to do with abortions, but I think it's more about maybe fertilization center or something like that. But they're saying it may be terror, domestic terror. And there seems to be pictures of a car that's been exploded, but massive damage to the building itself. One person is feared dead, I guess. But we're going to show you guys some of the footage right now and kind of go over some of the things that are happening here. So this is some of the footage from Nima's world, somebody that's on the scene. And they're basically covering this right as it's happened. This is within the last hour. The footage here that we have here is within the last hour. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Actually, let's go back over here. I think you guys can see that right there.
They're shutting everything down. I don't even know if I can get back to where I was at, but we will see. As you guys can see already, they put up a good perimeter around. Hopefully she doesn't stop me. She seems pretty nice.
You guys hear that okay?
We're going to walk over there.
This was within the last hour.
We're going to see how much good footage we can get. Find out exactly what's going on, what the updates are. Gonna get interesting. I'm not afraid to get in there and get some footage. Side of the street. It wasn't in the front. So let me know what you guys want to see, and I will, try to get that footage that you guys want to see. So just make sure to drop a comment letting me know what you guys want. You guys are looking at we're definitely gonna get close to this.
Can you guys hear that okay?
See what happened.
Let me know if you guys can hear.
FBI vehicle.
Make sure that this is working on our end here. You guys can hear me, right? This is in California, Palm Springs, California. They're saying it's terrorism.
Guys, here we go. As you can see, everything in this vicinity is closed down. You won't be able to drive through here whatsoever. All right, let's zoom in.
Can you guys hear me? Hello. Testing. I'm looking at the chat. I don't have any feedback. Can you guys hear me okay? We're getting a lot of viewers here on YouTube. If you're on Facebook or Twitter,
I see.
migrate over here to YouTube. YouTubers, can you hear me? Angela, can you hear me? I'm not getting any feedback.
Hey, officer, any updates?
I can see you.
Any updates on anything? What do you know if it was like a car expplosion or like a gas leak? Nothing.
Hello?
Nothing.
Pamela, Heidi, can you guys hear me? Cheyenne?
As you can see,
Can you hear the feed?
it's like a lump kind of in the building.
Okay, you can hear me, Guitar Man? Okay,
Bunch
you
of
can hear me? Good.
cops, firefighters. Obviously, something happened.
How about the background?
Right
Can you hear
around
his feed?
here. Right there. And we literally saw it. My girlfriend was. Yikes. Alright, should we go behind the building now? Yeah. Nemo's World TV? Nemo's World TV? No, it's back at my house that I'm staying in. Yeah, no worries. Can you just give shout out Nemo's World TV? Alright. No worries. Oh, no worries. I told this guy I'm Nemo's World TV. That's my media credentials.
He's pretending like he's a journalist.
All right, let's go. Let's go to this other side now. So you guys just saw where the explosion was. So you saw the explosion was over there. On the opposite side where I'm taking you guys now, that's like where one of the body parts flew off. And we literally saw it. My girlfriend was like, nah, that can't be a body part, but
Did you believe that? Did you hear what he said?
Look.
So he said that there was a body part that flew across the actual street. Well, it was another part of the street. He said there was a body part on the ground from the explosion. And this was it was around the block. It literally flew a block away. That's how powerful of an explosion this was. Wow.
I don't know if I could really go past this, but I'm gonna try to do it because we need the footage.
He's gonna go past.
We gotta get it, obviously. You see the FBI vehicles. Yeah, what? I can't? I can't?
Duh.
Dang.
It's all blocked
All
off,
right.
my man.
There's a reason why they don't want you going that.
There's
because
body parts.
that's where you're probably gonna find a lot of the body parts.
My gosh.
Whoever was scattered.
Are you kidding?
Man, impossible to get anywhere, I guess. Let's see. Very, very, very serious situation here in Palm Springs.
Somebody said gay police cars.
Let's get you guys back up close. Show you.
Somebody said gay police cars because I guess the police cars have rainbows on them. But look at this. So he said that the body part actually flew over another block away. That's what he had seen. Let's take a look and see if he's. Let's just listen. Continue. I'm going to show you guys some of the original footage here in just a second. So hold tight.
Super windy out here in Palm Springs.
It's always windy.
I'll tell you that. But look, that's the closest footage. I try to get on the other side. I mean, look at that. Let's see. Let's get more of a inner angle shot. Give me a second, guys.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys some of the videos or the pictures that are out now on what's actually happening right now. This is let's just go ahead and pull that up on the screen here. You can see that right there. Uh-oh, what happened? Did you see that? Okay, so here is they're saying, let me get myself off here. This is the New York Post, and for some reason it says some, as you know, this is really terrible that way they do this, but it says at least one person is dead after explosion obliterates fertility clinic in Palm Springs as FBI probes possible intentional act of terrorism. And here's what it looks like. As you can see from the face of this building, it looks like it literally just destroyed it completely. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, that's just absolutely destroyed there. So it blew out lots of buildings, windows all around the area. It looks like. Let's see if we got any sound on this.
Damn. This liquor store got from the explosion.
Okay, so this is the same guy that we were listening.
Explosion.
This is the same guy that we were just listening to.
Glass and everything everywhere.
So let's go back over to Nima's world really quick and get some of that footage, because there's a lot of footage there we can draw on here. Let's go back to when it first started. Oh man, this is something. This when it first, look at, there's the body part right there. That's some of the footage right there of what he said he saw. You can't, obviously it's under the cover of.
Damn. That was someone's body part. Damn. That was someone's body part.
Okay, and let's just take a look at some of this.
The explosion was so crazy, it blew out the glass of this liquor store. Look at this liquor store. Oh my god. All from this explosion, poor guy. Damn. This liquor store got from the explosion. Look at this, dude. Damn, crazy explosion. Glass and everything everywhere.
And these are just some of the clips that I'm just playing, all the different ones here.
The explosion was so crazy, it blew out the glass.
Okay, so we saw that. So here's the initial videos that he had where he saw what was going on here. Let's just take a look at the original video as he began to witness what was happening.
Exactly.
Go back here.
All right, I'm back live. Look, you guys are looking at it.
Okay, we already saw that. Whoops, sorry about that. We already saw that. Okay, let's go back to the 4 hours ago when he first. That was only 7 seconds long. Okay, let's go right here.
Guys, I'm live. I mean, I don't really see a car unless this was a car bomb. They got everything shut down right now. You can smell like a bomb definitely went off. That's what it smells like. I mean, this is crazy. shut down. Right? You got some news reporters right here. There's people all around. Everything's closed down on both ends, but I mean, look, you can see damage was done here. It went all the way. I mean, there's that liquor store I posted a video of. This is wild, this would happen here. I mean, this really shook up the whole city.
Wow.
This is crazy. Hey, do you guys know if it was a car bomb or anything?
We haven't gotten anything confirmed from police yet.
Wow, I mean, you don't see a car though, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
No,
Pretty wild.
There was pictures.
Yeah, it did.
There was actually a picture of a car completely charred out. Like, just, it looked like it had been in an explosion. That was all that was left, was like the wheels and the base of the car. The rest of it was all gone, and it was all just looked like it had been charred. But there, it looks like it was an actual car bomb, if what I could see from the pictures. But let's see if we can find that footage.
Yeah, it would have been on the other side of the building.
Oh, okay.
But nothing has been officially confirmed by police.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this could have been like a terror attack, kind of.
I'm not going to say yes to
Yeah.
that, but,
No worries.
you know,
Yeah, I feel
they
you.
have to definitely investigate.
Yeah, this is crazy. There was casualties, huh? It seemed, because we filmed on the other end a piece of a body part. It was not great. This is...
Yeah, they haven't confirmed anything yet.
You got messing around. Wild. Wild. Literally wild. Blown away. Palm Springs. Here to have a good weekend. End up with a bombing. You know what happened exactly?
I do not know what happens there, but all I know is the sheriff's department is going to clear out the whole parking lot. So if you want to go on the sidewalk or whatever it is,
You know if it was a car bombing?
I really don't know what it is. I just got out here.
Yeah, pretty crazy, right? Jeez.
To me, I have no opinion about it right now.
Yeah, I feel you. Guys, Palm Springs. We got all the news stations. I mean, sheesh. Personally, I don't think just a car explosion could have done this. I don't really see any car residue anywhere. But man, crazy, crazy, crazy. Be safe out there. Be safe. And if you use my footage, please give me credit. Make sure to give me credit. Enjoy your day, everybody.
Well, we gave you credit, man. And let's go ahead and see if we can find more of this footage here that he had. He had a lot of different feeds going here at one point. This was the 4 hour ago footage, 4 hours ago. I don't think we saw this one. Let me see.
Are they saying what blew up? Are they saying what blew up? What is that blew up?
So that was right after it happened. See, look at
saying what blew up? What is that blew up?
So what? Let's see. Okay, here's this footage looks like it was earlier.
It was so crazy. It blew out the glass of this liquor store. Look at this liquor store. Damn. That was someone's body part.
By someone's body part.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, so this is some of the earlier stuff here that he had up. Okay, we found it. Here's the car. Look at the car. See, that's the car we're talking about. They're saying it looks like it was a car bomb. That looks like a car bomb to me. So this here, let's take a look at this footage here. These are just pictures, but this is the footage. I think he. So you can see there, he got some pretty clear footage right there before they locked everything down. That's the footage right there.
Was so crazy.
So he was right on the scene right as it was happening. Look. Wow. You can see from the back. See, there's something going off, smoking really bad in the back right there. You see that right there? Right behind the firefighter in the red cap, you can see something looks like it's smoking right there. You see that? I don't know if that's where the car was. That's probably where it went off.
Was so crazy.
You can see if you look at the footage of the actual building, the smoke is coming from the back. The smoke is coming from the back, and I think that's where it looks like the car was. And so it probably blew out the back end of it. And this is just some of the damage that it did to nearby businesses.
Damn. That was.
Now, I don't know where the body part comes from. I mean, they say that was one of the parts of somebody, but you would know, I guess, if it's under a blanket. I mean, unless he actually saw it, it could just be a blanket,
Someone's body,
a blanket laying there. That could be, something that just flew out. You never know. I mean, does anybody, did they go and look actually under it? It could be just nothing, but who knows? He said that on his video. So you would think, well, that's probably what it is, but did he actually go and look at it? I mean, I don't think so. Let's see if we can go back to the actual moment when if he had some better footage here. A lot of people are reposting this. Yeah, so that's pretty much all the footage that he had got. I think this is pretty close, the closest up you're going to get here now, everything being on lockdown. But let's just kind of look at some of the reports here now that are coming out. Just kind of interested in to see what the reports are. Well, let's see here. It says this is just from the New York Post. It's showing the front of the building. Now, I think that this might have been the other side of the building. We weren't able to see there, or is that? I don't know. We'll have to kind of look at that. But here it says the Federal Bureau of Investigation was on the scene, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives was en route. The FBI will be investigating whether this was an intentional act. U.S. Attorney Bill Azalea of the Central District of California wrote on X. And there's the actual there's still fire on this picture right on the top of the building. And it looks like the whole roof caved in too. So if there were people in there, you're going to probably have more casualties, because it looks like that whole roof caved in from what I can tell there. That looks pretty bad. American Fertility is what the business is. American Fertility. Let me just see if I can find Palm Springs. Let's just see if we can find it here. Looking at the map here. So let's take a look at the map. We're actually on Google Maps right now. Is this it here? Yeah, that's it right there. You see that building right there? That's the building. One one nine nine, and that hole. There was a hole literally in the actual wall itself. Let's look at the difference between these two pictures here. You see that you see. I need to do an archive on this one, because let's just do the archive and see if I can get past all that. Okay, there we go. Now we won't have all the problem. Oh, well, it's not a video. You can't see the video, huh? Okay, so there you go. So there's a picture of it after the fact, and this is what it looks like on Google Maps. So there you go. There's the first picture, and there is. So yeah, so it. Let me look at that again. That I'm trying to get the difference here between the two. So there's literally a hole in the wall here. That I thought that was a doorway, but that's not a doorway. That's actually a hole in the wall. You see the difference? See, right underneath the sign, I thought that there was a doorway there, but it's not. It's literally, it pushed the wall outside. It pushed the wall through. The inner wall came out of the outer wall, it looks like to me. You see that wall structure there that's kind of jutted out? It literally pushed everything through the wall. So that's the actual difference. Look at the difference again. This is a screenshot from Google Maps right here. And this area right here has literally the interior wall is sticking out almost onto the ledge here. You see this ledge? So there's a ledge right here. And you can see that the wall on the other picture comes all the way out. Look at the difference here. You see how that wall comes right out to the edge now? So it pushed everything out of the side of the building. That's how strong the explosion was. That wall right there is sticking out, and it's almost to the edge of this, you know, it's lining up with this pole right here. You see the pole? It's almost parallel to the pole. So if you go back and look at that one more time, or no, that's not a pole. It's a tree. So it's one of those palm trees. Duh, they're in Palm Springs. I forgot. Everything is palm trees in Palm Springs, right? So yeah, that's get that back out there. The before and the after. Wow. So yeah, that's some pretty major damage. You can see the majority of the building, or the interior of the building, came out of that hole onto the street. It just literally just exploded it right out onto the street. Look at that. Wow. And if there's anybody, and if there was anybody in there, I'm sure that they died. This is the front part of the building, I guess. So like I said, I think it came from behind the building. That might have been a picture. Well, this is a different side of the building, I think. This has got to be a different side of the building, because this is the back end. Okay, so here's the front part of the building. This is the part that you're seeing here. Okay, wait. So this part of the building here, okay, that's not it. Coachella Valley. So what is this? I think this might be a different business. This is probably just a different business here or something. Coachella Valley, something. All right, so let's see what else we got. I'm sure there's other things going on here. Let's keep an eye on this guy's feed and see if he's posted anything else. Let's see if he's posted anything else here. 28 minutes ago, going live at 4 p.m. with CNN to talk about Palm Springs bomb explosion. So he's going to be on with CNN at 4, which is in about 15 minutes. It says the latest live I took to show you how close I'm staying from the scene and some of the best footage of the current situation from the Palm Springs bomb explosion. So this was where he was at. This was 2 hours ago. I think we pretty much showed you this.
Oh, super windy out. Very, very serious situation here in Palm Springs. Let's get you guys back up close, show you guys what's happening. Look, you're not gonna get any better footage See, you see parts of the building just blew out into the street. Kind of weird. Super windy out here in Palm Springs. I'll tell you that. But
Okay, so it definitely windy. Now, when you guys are hearing me right now on the feed here, do you guys hear do you hear a double feed coming through my mic? Just kind of curious. Just trying to figure out if I should be muting my mic here. I'm streaming now with new software, so those who are on YouTube and those who follow me know that things are a little different. I'm just getting used to the new software, and I want to make sure I'm doing it correctly. So let me know if you hear any feedback, and if you do, thanks for helping me giving me some feedback, because I definitely need to hear from you guys on how it sounds out there. It's not Planned Parenthood. It is a fertility lab, is what I think. I think it is a fertility lab. Okay, River, Nicholas, yes. Okay, God bless you guys. Thank you. And I got the comments on there from YouTube. So for those of you who are on Facebook or Twitter, or you're watching this somewhere else, come on over to YouTube. It's really our main source of streaming that we usually do. I'm just updating you guys on Twitter and Facebook to get you guys up to speed on the main thrust of all we do is right here on YouTube. So if you want to be up on all the new events as they unfold, we're going to be covering live stream events in the world, because I do believe a ramp up of events is on the way. Trump is the chaos president, and he definitely thrives in an environment of chaos to further his agenda. And I understand his mindset. Some would say, if you really study the way he works and the way he thrives, this cycle of news is just about to ramp up. So we're going to be covering all kinds of events, I'm sure, here in the near future. So stay tuned with BP News channel on YouTube. BP News channel on YouTube. You're going to want to subscribe right now. If you're on any other platform, come on over, migrate over here to YouTube and subscribe. That way you won't miss a thing. When you do, make sure you enable the instant and the all notification. Don't just subscribe. Make sure it's all notifications, and become a member for member perks. We're going to be doing some member feeds as well. If you're a member of the channel, we'll be definitely including you on our feeds and giving you guys shout outs, just like another CG right there. I think you're let's see. Oh, okay. So I've got to actually look at my YouTube stream to see who the members are. I can't see it through the studio here. Well, so we are using Restream software for those who are interested in knowing. And yeah, so we're going to continue to look at some of the news here. Let's go ahead and see what else they're saying about this. I'm going to get you the latest information right now. I've got access to behind the scenes info on what's going on here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on behind the scenes here. There's a lot of people thinking that we're not in the tribulation, that we're close to the tribulation, that we are actually, and then there's those that believe that we actually are in the tribulation because of all the things that are happening that are lining up with Bible prophecy. We get into a lot of this topic, especially with all the news events that seem to align with the book of Revelation, the book of Daniel. I mean, there are so many things that we are chronicling. For those who know their scriptures, you're going to say, wow, I thought this book was just kind of irrelevant and fantasy, myth or something. But no, it's literally lining up according to what Bible prophecy said would happen in the latter days. And Trump is facilitating this unfolding end time scenario like no one has ever done. So we're definitely covering all these things that are happening. If you haven't been watching our feed in the last week, you need to go back and look at some of those live streams. We are chronicling in real time these amazing signs the Bible said would happen in the last days. So if you're a person that is a Christian that has a theology that says we're not going to see the tribulation because Christians are going to be swept out in a rapture, I'm not saying that I don't believe that there's a catching away, as the Bible calls it, a catching away, or a harposa, I think the original language is. But I don't think Christians are going to be escaping before any bad things happen. They're going to be watching these things unfold, and they're probably not going to be ready for it if they think they're going to escape without any kind of, trial. They're going to be a part of that tribulation period. So, and yes, they're going to witness the true, that end time leader that's going to consolidate the global economy, the world religions. That's what you just saw today or yesterday. The world religions all gathering in with that major hub of economic power that is literally happening right as we speak. And it's about to hit the fan. It is about to hit the fan. Just so many weird things. The whole Comey thing. If you didn't see the Comey thing, it wasn't just that he posted 8647. There was a coded message in that. And if you don't know about how the secret societies do this, and they put messages into events to telegraph to their people what they're doing and maybe coordinating. This is why they want to bring him up on charges. This is why they're trying to get Comey arrested. It's because there was something more in that tweet than meets the eye. For those who understand coded messages, like the elites do, you're going to understand what he was talking about there. Because it all lines up with 9/11. It was 88,647 days since 9/11 when he did this. So he was talking to the Saudis on that day, and all the hijackers were all Saudis. You don't think Comey was saying something there? Not only to get rid of Trump, but having a connection to 9/11 on the day that he was actually meeting with the Saudis? I mean, seriously, there's too many weird coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences. So let's get you the latest on what's going on here. The mayor of Palm Springs, California, just confirmed that an explosion at a fertility clinic today was caused by a bomb. At least one person has been killed. The FBI is on the scene. Let's go ahead and take a listen to what they're saying here on CNN with this. Let's take a little listen. Where is it? Oh, okay. So Loomer is the one that had that. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and pull that up.
Where a bomb, according to the mayor of Palm Springs, a bomb went off near a fertility clinic there in Palm Springs, that this happened in or near a vehicle that was parked near that fertility center. Again, this is a place where people would go to try to get fertility treatments, to do IVF, to do IUI, things like that. That's what a fertility clinic does. And so we are told by the doctor that runs that clinic that all of his staff is accounted for. But we do know, again, according to authorities, that there is one fatality. Josh, as we're looking at this scene, which is big, it is pretty spread out. We talked about how significant the damage is to that building. But as this photographer zooms out, you can see just how much of a scene this at, how big the scene is. What do you make of the posture? We know the FBI is there on scene, ATF. This is being taken obviously quite seriously. We saw the dogs out there sniffing around. Tell us a little bit about what's going through all their minds right now.
Yeah, you have various teams doing different things. Obviously, the central point of that explosion will be the focus for the forensic examiners, the bomb technicians, and the like, again, to try to get some sense of whether they're chemical testing, whether they're canines that are out there that are specially trained to sniff for types of accelerants and the like, whether they pick up on anything. But again, you look at this kind of larger perimeter there as the affiliate helicopter zooms out and then zooms in. That's all going to be subject to what's called a video canvas as well. And that's because one thing that, if it does turn out that this was intentional, which again, we stipulate, we still don't know what the actual cause or motive or any of that was right now. But investigators would try to determine whether this was something that happened in real time, that was detonated by someone who he or she was actually impacted, in the explosion.
Okay. So there you go on that. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see here. Okay. And for those who are, just for the record, those who are new to our channel, I am just now learning this new software, so I'm going to be getting this all down pat here real soon. It takes me a little bit to figure things out. But we were streaming on OBS. So we're not doing that anymore. Whoops. Okay, so why is looks like my screen is froze here for just a moment here. All right, so yeah, my screen's froze. so this is the problem. What the heck happened here? Okay, I'm still here on this one at least. Let's try to get back. It's a good thing I switched over from the screens. All right, let's go back over to our main page here. There's been a lot of bad weather in the last day or so. Did you guys see that? There's been all kinds of tornadic activity. This was in Missouri, a tornado that was, I don't know if these are storm chasers. Yeah, these are storm chasers. Just check this out. This is absolutely crazy footage. Absolutely crazy footage here. Yeah. Can you see that? All right.
Yeah, I mean, still a pretty nice debris field. On a tornado, so I'm about to lose it back here, so I'll probably miss it.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, you gotta watch it. I had somebody that was just stopped right, like went up over a hill, at the bottom of the hill, so the chaser just stopped.
Yep, that's pretty bad. Let's take a look and see some of his crazy footage here. This is very long, so I'm just gonna get to the gist of the craziness that he experienced.
Let's get it, everyone. If
Gotta-
this thing lifts, I'm gonna be ticked.
You got to be crazy to do this.
It is. Looks like it's lifting. Yeah, I mean, still a pretty nice debris field.
What did you expect, man? You're running through a tornado. Look at this. Wow, look at those tornadoes. Look at that. That is absolutely crazy. Look at that. Wow.
There it is.
That is pretty crazy. Crazy footage, huh? Yep. All right. So I guess with what's happened there in Palm Springs, we're going to be finding out. Now, did you see the news of Trump? Now, while I got you on the line here, we're going to go over a couple news articles here. Trump is basically saying to Walmart that they can't, because of these tariffs and all the extra money that's going to cost, they're not going to pass on the cost to the consumer. Trump says they better not pass on the cost to their consumer. He's telling business, obviously, this appeals to a lot of people that are of the mind that these powerful corporations don't deserve profits, right? Because they make so much profit anyway. Trump tells them, hey, you've already made billions of dollars, so you need to eat the cost of the tariffs and not pass it on to your customers. He literally told them this today. Don't you think that's kind of crazy? Oh, man. Okay, so let's take a look and see what's going on here really quick in the news while we're all hanging out here still. This is the Blazing Press Telegram channel, if you didn't know. The Blazing Press Telegram channel. And we're going to be doing it like this. What do you think? I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way I can move this. Anyways, so this is a terrible video right here of Israeli bombs coming down on Gaza right after this whole, stab in the back from the United States and Trump to Israel. Israel feels betrayed. They don't feel America's going to be there for them. This is biblical prophecy right here, that Trump basically and the world have collaborated together to isolate and stab in the back, double cross, and or betray Israel. And this is what I've been telling people Trump was going to do for a year. A lot of people thought I was kind of cuckoo for saying that because there's no reason for him to do that because he's one of their greatest allies. But I told you guys it would happen. And it just so happened at a moment when he's colluding with all of these very powerful countries, these oil countries that have the center of basically global commerce is flowing through Abu Dhabi and the Arab Emirates, the United Arab Emirates, and all of these very rich oil countries, not to mention what's going on in Syria as the hub of what's going on in the whole of the Middle East. Trump is right in the midst of it, and they're hailing him as a king. They literally are hoisting him up in reverence and respect and deference as a king, hailing him almost in a triumphal entry kind of way. I mean, you see the ones where they were swaying their hair, the girls were, I mean, it's just like the whole entrance of a king. This is something that even the Muslim countries were in awe of. Al Jazeera was in awe of it as a demonstration of great power and authority that has never been be seen before. They were giving this to Trump. These leaders of very powerful and rich countries in the Middle East were literally lifting him up. And then he goes to the center of global religion that's now been established in the Abraham House of Faith, which is there's a bunch of stuff going on in Israel right now. I'm seeing a bunch of missiles coming in. This is weird timing that this is all happening right now. But he goes into this house of faith, the center of this thing that was created by the late Pope and the head of this massive synagogue, or I'm sorry, mosque in the Arab Emirates, United Arab Emirates. And it's probably one of the biggest most opulent mosques in the Middle East that he oversees. And I'm trying to remember who the guy's name is, but they collaborated for this Abrahamic house of faith, which basically is a church, a synagogue, and a mosque. And all the religions of the world are coming to this place of peace, right? Trump is ushered into this place just like you would expect in a biblical end time prophetic scenario at a time of great unrest in the world, when there's war between all these different countries, whether it's India and Pakistan, Russia and Ukraine, Israel and Iran. I mean, you've got all this stuff happening right now where they're calling for global peace. And this is exactly the scenario the Bible says would happen when they say peace and security. Behold, sudden destruction will come upon them like a woman in travail. We're literally at that moment. They're calling for peace and security. Trump is saying he's the president of peace. He's going to get the Nobel Peace Prize. He's coming with great boasts, with great arrogance. This is exactly he's dethroning people. He's this little horn type influence over the whole political world. He's already said that he's running not just the United States, but he's running the world. He's running the world. And it's like there's so much symbology that Trump embodies that is biblical. It's literally in your Bible, in the book of Revelation, the book of Daniel, all the other prophecy. Jesus himself prophesied about these latter days, what would be happening, and it's lining up perfectly, not to mention all the technology rollouts with Elon. And Elon is probably the false prophet that rolls this image out that begins to speak. What is the image? If you go back and you look at your computer has an image on it. This is all computer language that the Bible had embedded for thousands of years, and now it makes all sense. The image begins to speak. You have an image on your computer that basically reboots your computer. It's a basic file format that's in it. They call it an image. So the image of the beast begins to speak because the false prophet gives life to this image, right? And this image, the one beast there's different beasts. There's a beast, there's the Antichrist beast, and there's other beasts. I think the false prophet is one of them. He causes this image begins to cause all. It begins to become sentient. So the Bible infers that it becomes intelligent all of a sudden. Like all of a sudden it takes on intelligence. Does that not seem like the AI and robotics? I mean, if you've been paying attention to any of the technology rollouts lately, it looks just like robotics and AI. Okay, so it takes on this sentient awareness. It causes all, small and great, bond and free, rich and poor, all the men and the women of the world and the children are going to be subject to a coercion. It's going to cause all to take the mark. And if they don't take the mark, they're outside of the system. This system is a tracking, a tracing, and a digital currency. It's a digital global currency. And what is Trump doing right now? He's facilitating the AI digital ID currency and or facilitating this AI infrastructure that's going to govern cities, right? They're already rolling out this pilot city right now. I think it's in Dubai or something, where they're going to literally make everything as a model to this type of city. This is what Trump calls the freedom cities. He's going to be establishing freedom cities in the United States and around the world. They're doing this all over the world. And so the Starlink is all part of that. The ability to get high-speed internet anywhere on planet Earth, to be able to use these technologies to connect everybody. You can be out in the jungles of New Guinea with a bunch of pygmies that don't even know anything about technology or civilization, and you're going to get high-speed internet and the ability to track and trace with the hardware that you need, whatever hardware that is. And so this is what all this investment is. This is what all the excitement is. This is why Mohammed bin Salman had a smile ear to ear, emotionally. Oh, Trump, I love you. Trump, it's so sad to see you leave. As they're going on the plane, you just like, they might as well have kissed. They might as well just kiss each other. And now Gaza is being just hammered because they know that their expectations and their dreams of what Trump's promised them is not going to happen. They're hoping that he's going to turn back on a dime to come back to them, but that's not going to happen because Trump had probably planned. This is all part of the plan. This is all biblical prophecy. And there was no chance in hell that anybody even thought that this might happen. But we were telling you that it would happen because you know why? I knew he already fit the description. And I knew from what I saw him do all the way up to this point, and so many people are still duped by a lot of that he was going to do this too. And sure enough, he did it. And it was chronicled in the Revelation 12 sign too, that I chronicled on my channels, that we predicted October 7th, a week before it happened. We told you that Israel was about to be attacked because of what was in the heavens in the constellation of Virgo. And then a year later, we told you again that it was going to turn and everything was going to start happening in the Western countries, here in the United States as well, with the rise of Trump and what that means. And we're right now seeing that unfold. I'm going to kind of guess that they're going to be focusing now on Christians. They're going to probably say this was a Christian thing. The Christians were the ones behind this. I mean, I don't know if this has anything to do with abortion, but wouldn't it be interesting if this all sudden started to be conservative Christians are doing this type of thing? They're gonna start to put targets on Christians, like, oh yeah, Christians did this. They're attacking abortion clinics. They're attacking these fertility clinics or whatever. Maybe they thought it was an abortion clinic. Who knows? But look at this video. I just want you to see this video really quickly. Just take a look at this video. I want you to take a real close look at this. Make sure I do this right here. Yeah, you can't share the actual voice with this because for some reason it doesn't allow you to do that. So I got to put this up so you can hear it. So look at this. What do you think about that? What's your thoughts on that? Tell me in the chat. I want to see. What do you guys think? You guys tell me what you think, and I'm going to put it right on the screen here. Trump is going to take Gaza. It's true, Steamer Girl. Trump has stated that he wants to take over and parcel out, I don't know, sell timeshares, I don't know, to the highest bidder countries. I don't know. But it's going to be a Trump Gaza hotel, a Riviera on the Mediterranean. And it's biblical because in Daniel chapter, I think it's 14 verse 30, 14 verse 45. Let me see. You know what's really weird? I'm going to just tell you this. Or is it 11 verse 4? I think it's 11, chapter 11. Daniel chapter 11. I'm going to tell you some very strange thing that happened when this all took place. If you look at Daniel, this is all about the Antichrist and what he would do and what would he be his end at a certain point. You know, this is chronicling the unfolding events of the future, right? God knows the end from the beginning. He already knows how this is all going to play out. He knows everything about where you're going to be too. You still have free will. Everybody still has free will, but there is this mystery of God's ability to know the end from the beginning. He knows what you're going to choose. He knows where, you know, you're predestined in a certain way. But look at what this says here. Daniel chapter 11. Take a look. The last part of Daniel chapter 11 says, he will pit. Now, let me just set the stage for you guys on this. So I'm telling my wife about Trump being who I think he is. And there's many people that speculate about his identity, that his identity will be realized and that he will at a certain point be completely filled and possessed with this power, which increases, I think, to the point where we're fully orbed into this whole thing. But I said to my wife, and she can attest to this too, I said, well, he would have to be in close proximity to Israel because it says that at a certain point there's a confrontation with the returning Christ and this beast, right? He would have to be in a certain location in proximity to the land, because if it's a literal confrontation that's going to take place in the land and the armies or whatever's, you know, there for him, because there is a confrontation of Israel by many nations, right? So there's a leading, there is some kind of coalition of armies from around the world that march on Israel at a certain point. And I said, well, he'd have to be in close proximity. Not even a week later, it all came out in the news. I don't even think it was even a week. It wasn't even a week. I think it was just a few days, or it could have been even the next day, because this is the way God works with us. And I'm just telling you, it is the weirdest thing. But so the scripture here says that at his end, and this is talking about at the end of this culmination of the age when the Lord does return, he's going to confront this beast. But it says in Daniel that he pitches his royal tents between the seas at the beautiful holy mountain. Yet he will come to his end and no one will help him. But what does it mean by he pitches his royal tents between the seas and the beautiful holy mountain? That location right there is Gaza. And they want to take that over and turn it into a Riviera. And you saw the AI visuals of what Trump retweeted. Everything in gold, everything supposedly going to be restored and handed back to the Palestinians, but that is not going to happen. They're talking about giving opening up Gaza for the purpose of having other countries also participate in the rebuilding, which is going to be a smart city. It's going to be a smart country, probably. But there's all kinds of resources there. This is the reasons why Israel wants it. Not to mention the fact that they're going to build a canal through there, but they also want the rich resources that are found, that are probably oil and gas. And it's huge from what I understand. They're not trying to make this real known publicly, but I think there's huge deposits right off the coast and probably on the land itself. And this is the land that would give Israel all kinds of trouble anyway. This is where the Palestinians or the Philistines were from of old, that were always problems for the Israelis going back throughout history. So he's going to pitch his royal tents between the seas and the beautiful holy mountain. The holy mountain is Israel, right? The beautiful mount, the mount of God, the place of the temple. And the Israelis were hailing Trump as a great leader that would be in the order of Cyrus, which Cyrus was considered a Messiah. And the way Israel thinks of Messiah is different than the way Christians might understand the Messiah. But they believe that this Messiah, who they believe is Trump, and it can be someone that's not a Jew very easily. They'll tell you, if you sit and listen to some of the rabbis talk about this. In fact, one rabbi said that he was in the order of Esau, and that Esau, just like Esau came back to Jacob, and they became, he became compassionate on his brother. At a certain point, he wanted to kill his brother. His brother Jacob was very afraid because he had been deceptive and he had been a supplanter, right? He deceived his brother, and his brother was very angry with him, wanted to kill him. So at a certain point when they reunited, Jacob had prayed and God had met him and softened his brother's heart and brought them back together again. Ultimately, Esau being representing a large and a prosperous nation. But what the rabbis say is that Trump is in the order of the Esau because Esau was bigger and more powerful than Jacob. And yet at a certain point, he came back to his brother and they made covenant. They made up, right? And they also say that messiahs of the past have destroyed the countries from which they came. Like Moses rose up in Egypt, but ultimately became the deliverer by destroying the country that he was a part of. And so it was more of an Israeli interest, or maybe even a global interest. And this is what I believe Trump is, in his true design, is not for the national identity and or interests of the United States. I think it's more of a global interest. So people that think he's one of us, you've been duped. You've been highly, seduced and or soothsayers have tickled your ears into thinking that he was all about you. Just like Israel was duped into thinking that Trump was really going to help them establish their third temple. Now, he might facilitate that so that he can sit in it at a certain point when he has complete and utter control over the situation in the Middle East. I don't know. I personally think, according to biblical prophecy, that when he sits in the seat of the holy place, it's talking in the temple, it's talking about the physical body as the father of the vaccine he himself claims to be. It is an alteration of your genome, and they literally are taking over the physical body, and they're putting the technology of, this is beast technology and nanotech tech, is connecting you to the internet of bodies. You are literally becoming GMO'd or genetically modified to become a node of the internet and the AI, a hive mind, where you are basically held captive by the technology that is now inside your body. That is the desecration of the holy temple. So the Bible says that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit in the new covenant. And Jesus said that you are the body. I am the head, right? He is the head. You are the body. And so the glory of God's presence rests in and resides within his own body. So for anybody that goes along with this technological wedding of biometric singularity is literally going into the abyss, or the over the event horizon into the abyss, as Elon said recently, into damnation. You're literally not redeemable. This is why in the days of Noah, God brought the flood and wiped out humanity, was because of the tampering of the genome and the giants that resulted, right? Now, what did Jesus say? As in the days of Noah, so would it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man? Did he make reference to that effect that it had on human flesh when giants were the offspring of angelic, intermingling with humans? And by the way, there is a lot of evidence that there are and have been civilizations of giant humans, and it's true. There's also fake pictures out there that people have made, and fake things that people, obviously that's probably to discredit the reality of what the reports are going all the way back. I mean, you can look at credible news sources that chronicled the finding of large skeletal remains of giant humans. And Smithsonian probably has them all hidden. A lot of Smithsonian Institute had gone into there to confiscate a lot of that, but it's all throughout the record. You can find pages and articles going all the way back, hundreds of years of chronicling these finds that were found in tombs and in burial excavations. There's no way that any of that was made up. That was because these are journalistic reports of the time and the era of these reports, and they're always confiscated by government. Why? Why do they want to hide all that? There is a definite need to hide that information from humanity, and that's probably because there is a very intense control over perceptions. And this is by, the Bible says, the prince of the power of the air, who now works in the sons of disobedience, blinds the minds of those who don't believe. He's going to blind people's minds by using every avenue of deception, entertainment, politics, institutions of higher learning. I mean, really look at who's running our institutions of higher learning. Mostly propagandists and communists and socialists and every other crazy idea out there that seems to be controlling the development of young people's minds, and history that isn't even accurate that you're being taught in schools. Everything is controlled and manipulated, your perceptions of what is reality. This is why it says, when the truth, if you continue in my word, Jesus said, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. You're going to know true science. You're going to know true reality of what created all this that we are a part of as humans. This is the ultimate reality. You're talking about a reality that is askew and has been manipulated, that the majority of people think is true. I mean, when you really start studying things and getting down to the bedrock of history, it all starts making sense. It all starts making sense. The reasons why all this has been hidden is because they don't want people to understand that the Bible could literally be true. It's just like what happened during the time of Jesus when they told the guards to guard the tomb, because they didn't want people to think that he actually was raised from the dead if it literally did happen, because they knew that it was a part of the prophecy. But when he did rise from the dead and the angels were right there, there was no denying the fact that they had to go into damage mode. That was their media of the day. They had to use their propaganda media type word that they put out that, oh yeah, his disciples came and stole away the body. But how did they steal away the body if there were guards there? They put the guards there for a reason so that the disciples couldn't steal them away. But when you're dealing with angelic beings and you're dealing with a literal resurrection by the God of heaven for this purpose of getting this message out to the ends of the earth, there's nothing going to stop God's will and word from, being understood by the masses. God's going to get the message out for those who have ears and eyes to see and ears to hear. They have that desire to know what's true. They're going to be shown the truth. Now, if you don't want to be aware of what's true, you don't want to know, you don't want to take the time to really search out a matter, well, then, yeah, you're going to believe the lies. You're going to be listening to the propagandists. You're going to be following the latest technologies and putting it in your body foolishly. So, I mean, if that's what you really want to do, I mean, that's up to you. But, you can believe whatever you want to believe. But you have the opportunity to know what's ultimate truth. And all you have to do is, pray and ask God to show it to you. Because really, it's not going to be given to anybody that just is curious. It's going to be given to someone that truly wants to know. So here we are. I'm looking at some of your comments here. And when you say Jesus wasn't a Jew, or Yeshua wasn't a Jew, he came from Nazareth, right? Nazareth, wasn't that a part of the kingdom of the Jews? No. Mm-hmm. Aaron S., you said Prophecy Club was promoting this for years. We bought stock in ZN Oil and we sold it all last year. So what happened with ZN Oil, Aaron? Are you here? I'm curious, like, did you make money on it or what? Because I know that Hal Lindsey, I remember watching Hal Lindsey about 20 years ago, and he was promoting the oil deposits that were about to be found. He was talking about it way back then, telling Christians to invest. And he was really close to some very high-level Israeli officials in the government, Hal Lindsey himself. And he was a Zionist. You like my hat? It's a Kabuto hat. It's for those who don't know, it's like a tractor. Tractor brand. So, Aaron, are you still in the house here? Aaron, are you still here? I'm not sure if you're here right now, Aaron, but I saw your comment, and I'm kind of curious as to. I'm guessing that was Israeli stock, right? Let me just see what happened. What he said here. So he said that, yeah, for 2 decades, Zion Oil. So you're absolutely right. As I said, Hal Lindsey was talking about this Zion Oil stock. Let me just see what it's doing here. Zion Oil stock. I'm just curious, and this is for the last, let's just say, all time. Yeah, Zion oil stock. So it just plateaued out. Nothing's ever come of it. No. But it was big back in 2009. It was at $11 a share. And then even before that in 2006, it was at $12.50 a share. And that's probably about the time when I heard Hal Lindsey talking about it all. And then it had a couple little blips in 2017 and 2018 of about $3 spike. But that's about it. Pretty crazy. Yeah. Yep. It's all a pump and dump thing anyway. It's all scam. It's kind of like the scam, what Trump did with the scam coins. With the Trump scam coin, he made billions of dollars off of it within 24 hours and then dumped everything. They dumped everything to make that money. And then everybody else that bought into it was left holding the bag with nothing left. They lost all their money. But Trump, no, he made a lot of money. That's what happens when you go gamble at one of his casinos. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. The house always wins, and he knows it. But in the end, he's not. That gamble's not going to pay off. When he meets the Prince of Peace, the wonderful counselor, the true Prince of Peace, and he's going to have the true government. That's going to be the true justice that is going to be descending upon the earth at that time. And that's coming very soon. So in the meantime, I just wanted to kind of cover what was going on here and look at some of the news. I know there's a lot more coming, so we may be doing another stream here a little bit later. If there isn't anything else really big that hits the news, we won't, but we'll be back tomorrow if we don't come back tonight. Okay, so stay tuned to our Telegram page to make sure that you don't miss anything. Our Telegram ID is Trumpet News with the number 1. I don't know why we did that. The feed was, our old YouTube channel was called Trumpet News, for those who don't know. But it's Trumpet News 1, or you could just go search Blazing Press, the one channel that has 30,000 subscribers, I think, or 20,000 subscribers. That's our channel. Don't follow any other channel that has anything less, because that's probably an imposter channel. Lots of imposter channels out there, so make sure you follow the right one. And also here on YouTube, don't miss us on YouTube. For any other place that you're watching, come on over and hang out with us there. In the meantime, God bless, and we'll talk to you guys very soon.